Hey guys! So today's video is going to be a makeup tutorial and it is perfect for back to school. It is a super natural looking makeup tutorial. I just wanted to kind of talk through some of the products that I would use if I was going back to school and nowadays. Now this is a little bit time consuming, so if you're one of those people that like to sleep in, this probably isn't the makeup tutorial for you to wear every day. Obviously you can skip some things. If you have really clear skin, like obviously skip the foundation, but this is just something that I would wear on a daily basis if I was still in school, and probably what I'm going to be wearing to work. So that's just, it's like a perfect everyday makeup tutorial. It's very clean and fresh and long lasting. So if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. Man, it's so freaking wrinkled. I can't. That's frustrating, but whatever. Alright, I'm starting off with the skin today. I know, that's so weird for me, but I just think that the eye look is just way too easy to just do the eye look and then the face. So I'm gonna prime. I haven't found a drugstore primer that's like my favorite thing in the world, so I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my favorite primers, and this is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. I only have a sample size, but I've been using it lately and I love it. I can't get enough of it. I'm definitely gonna get the full size when this thing runs out. It leaves your face feeling nice and smooth, like, I don't even know. It's the perfect canvas. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Photofocus foundation, and this is really light coverage, so that's why I think it's good for every day. But not only that, it leaves you looking nice and matte and basically just like covers any imperfections you have in your face. It's not like a crazy heavy full coverage situation, so that's what I love about it, and I think it's just perfect for every day. I personally like to take a brush with this foundation. This is the Morphe Y6 brush and buff it in, but if you like a lighter coverage, you can go ahead and use the Beauty Blender. I am a bit tanner than I've been lately, so this foundation is a little bit light for me, but whatever. I'm just gonna take my damp Beauty Blender and just press that into the skin just to even everything out. I always get foundation lip, it drives me crazy. I look like a zombie. Before I go in with concealer, I'm gonna go ahead and cream highlight. This is the Benefit What's Up. That's one of the only things that I can't find in the drugstore, like an illuminator like this that makes you look, it's like a good base for your highlight, like the powder. Even though I'm gonna set the rest of my face, honestly, this stuff is like so good. It makes your highlight pop. It's like a primer for your highlighter. I'm gonna take the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser and apply this as concealer. I can't recommend this enough. It's the best drugstore concealer ever. It definitely brightens under the eyes, but it also hides your dark circles. And yeah, if you don't have as much texture as I do or as many blemishes as I do, I recommend only going with this like on a daily basis. Only this, no foundation, you don't need it. Before I set that, I'm going to go ahead and cream contour a little bit. This is the Colourpop Sculpting Sticks in the shade Dove. And I'm just going to take this over here and my forehead and my nose. Then I'm going to go ahead and blend that in with a Beauty Blender. Now I'm just taking the Morphe M168 brush, it's a tiny brush, to help me blend this before I take my Beauty Blender. It just makes it a little easier. Obviously contouring is super extra, so if you don't want to do this, you don't have to, especially like if you're younger. Obviously not a good idea to contour on an everyday basis. Now you definitely want your base to last all day, so I definitely recommend setting everything. So I'm gonna set my whole face using the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I'm gonna take this first on a Sigma F35 brush and tap it under my eyes. You definitely want to tap, not swipe, so that your concealer doesn't move. Before I keep going, I'm gonna go ahead and just prime my lids using the same exact concealer because I forgot to do that. Just gonna go ahead and set my lid as well with the same powder. If you want to use powder in a heavier way, like to set your foundation very heavily, then I recommend going with a buffing brush. But I'm going to go ahead and use a really fluffy powder brush. This is the Morphe R7 brush. And just swirl it in and dust it around the face. For blush, I'm going to take the Pixie and Aspen Ovard Glowy Powder in Rome Rose. I think this blush is beautiful and perfect for every day. And of course, I'm taking my trusty e.l.f. brush. I don't know what it's called because it doesn't have a name, but it's really fluffy and I like it. To highlight even further, I'm going to take the Pixie Glowy Powder in London Luster, and this is more of a highlighting powder. And these are pretty pigmented, so you want to take a light hand. Obviously, you don't want to go to school with a crazy, like, in-your-face highlight. I mean, I would nowadays, but I didn't back then. Highlighter didn't even exist when I was in high school, to be honest. Makes me sad, but I love to highlight the tip of my nose. Just gives you that extra, like, I don't know. Now I'm gonna do my brows. So I'm gonna take the e.l.f. eyebrow kit, and you can find these at Target. I believe that's where I got mine, and it actually comes with a little tiny brush inside of it. You have a pomade and a powder. Personally, I think a pomade will take longer. I recommend going with a powder on a daily basis, but I'm gonna go ahead and use both. This is actually my first time using it. Let's see what I think about it. So I'm actually gonna do an updated brow routine soon because it's been requested. Obviously, I fill my eyebrows in more than the average person because I don't have eyebrows, so that's just me though. You don't have to fill them in as much as I do. You do you, boo. The pomade doesn't feel like the Anastasia pomade or anything, which I actually kind of don't like that pomade. It's alright, but like, sometimes it's hard to work with. This is a bit easier to work with. When I get toward the front of my brow, I kind of go in upward strokes because that's kind of how the brow hair grows anyway. Eyebrows is what probably takes me the longest time to do, which is why I skip them a lot of my tutorials. Gotta show you my Anastasia brush. I used to use this brush all the time for doing eyebrows. It's the most perfect brush. And it's actually broken, like it won't go back in unless I glue it. And even if I glue it, it's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna hold up the same, I don't think, so I'm so sad. I still use the spoolie because the spoolie is still good, you know. Just gonna brush through them. So definitely making these brows a lot more natural than I normally would. I'm gonna go ahead and take some of the powder. It feels weird, it's like so soft. Basically the powder is gonna set the pomade, and then I'm gonna take a brow gel even after that because I'm really extra like that. I really like this kit. I think it's good if you're on a budget for damn sure. I'm gonna take the spoolie again one more time. And now I'm going to go ahead and set my brows using the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. So this will give you like brow-like hairs. It makes it look even more natural, as well as setting what you've already put down. So it'll give you extra longevity and extra slayness. I don't freaking know. I'm gonna be super extra and conceal the bottom of my brows, so I'm taking a concealer and the Morphe M170-2 brush and just brushing it under, cleaning up my brows as well as highlighting my brow bone. Now that that's done, you can just put on mascara on your lip and be done. But if you want to go with an eyeshadow, I recommend going with any single eyeshadow that's a matte and just like blending it into the crease if you want to be that a little bit more extra, which is what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna use the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Party Girl. Honestly, don't even know if they sell this anymore, but it's like a pinky mauve shade. And I'm gonna take it with my finger, honestly, and just put it all over my lid and in my crease. You can barely tell that I'm even wearing anything. But when people get up close, they'll be like, oh wow, you're wearing something. Just for a little bit of definition, I'm going to take the same Colourpop sculpting stick and just put a little bit in the crease. A little tiny bit. And then I'm just going to take a blending brush and blend that all out. For mascara, use your favorite mascara. I can't use a drugstore mascara, so I'm going to be using the Smashbox Full Exposure Mascara. I have a tiny sample here. I don't think I've ever used this before, to be quite honest. See how I like it. I actually, on a daily basis, use a mascara primer. It makes your eyelashes even more voluminous. For lips, I'm going to be taking a gloss, and obviously you can find the drugstore equivalent of this, but I really like this gloss and I use it every day pretty much. And this is the Kylie Cosmetics gloss in the shade Literally, and I think it's perfect for every day. You don't need a lip liner or anything with it because it's that pigmented, and it just gives you a really neutral glossy lip. I used to wear lip gloss every day. The one thing I would do, and when I was in school, because makeup wasn't like that big, as big as it is now, I would wear mascara, eyebrows, and a lip gloss. Pretty much it. And maybe just like a powder. I would use a powder foundation pretty much every day, and like a little bit of blush as well. I mean, but I did always wear a gloss, so that's why I thought I would include this. And of course, you have to finish it off with some setting spray. I've been loving the Milani Make It Last setting spray. I think it's really, really good, and it is drugstore, so. And before you let that sink into your skin, you want to take your beauty blender and just press it into the skin, because it'll help absorb it and it'll make your makeup last a lot longer as well. So this is the final look. I really hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial. Don't forget to check out my back to school giveaway if you're interested in winning some makeup prizes as well as some school supplies. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!